We're coaching the boy Bam Bam. We're going to be going through a VOD review, going to be highlighting his gameplay, showing you things he did well, things I think he could have done slightly better. Right, let's go right into it. Starting off in the break here, going to go through, going to chuck his equipment, and he ends up, okay, let's back away a little bit and just kind of go through what's going on here, what's the main approach. So before we get into it, Black Ops 6 is just around the corner. So what we're going to be going through now is we're going to be focusing less on specific setups from the map and focusing more on intangible things that we can move into Black Ops 6 and we can use. So as we go through, the first thing is the break. The break is so important to get a good break. And the one thing I always recommend people using off the break is this thing right here. Your stun and nades are crucial because the enemies don't have a trophy. So you want to be using it. So off the break here, my first thing I would say is you have a second or two. So this is about understanding the map. When you understand this map in specific, right, you should know that, okay, what happens is the blue team actually get there a second before. So in this case, we go through, the blue team get there second before. So let's actually have a quick look at where our team are set up. We're going to keep Bam as blue number one. So first thing I find interesting is playing with teammates. So that means he's got a team or he's playing with teammates, which is very, very interesting because we want to see how they play as a team. And he's also got his comms there, which is great. So he's clearly trying to win here. He's got a team, he's got the comms, he's got all the right ingredients for success right now. So immediately, my first thing I would say to Bam is I would recommend with your stun, before anything, just chuck a stun at this door here because you know they're more than likely going to smash through the door and you can at least delay their push or be annoying. So he goes through and you can see just kind of right now, you see he's like switching his weapon, being a bit like all over the place, and you can see straight away he stuns now. A bit too late, he's not behind cover, he's quite weak here and he's kind of panicking a little bit and you see he gets killed right there. So I would say just a slight little start there, maybe just chuck your equipment out the door. For me, is a big play there. You can see Chaos go through to the far left. So I'm interested to see, okay, so in terms of off the break, right, I would say off the break, they could have done a bit better here. So this is where I think as a 4-stack, I could be a little bit more harsh because we have comms there. We have 4 people communicating. So we should actually have a perfect break. So if I looked through, what would I want as a break? I would want something like this, to be honest with you. I would want one person on the right by the bridge. I would want one person standing on this head glitch, just making sure that nobody can go through this area. And I would actually want 2 people in and around the hill. I would want one person there and I would want person just kind of being my wild card. The wild card for me is a player that's going to help everyone else. If number 3 needs help, he goes here. If number 1 needs help, he goes there. If number 2 dies, he goes to the balcony. You see? So this for me is your wild card and I think he's very important. Let's go through the spawns real quickly. This is your spawn for P1 from both sides so we know what we're working with. Let's continue and see what happens there. So off the break here, I think one thing they could have done better is they could have had somebody pick up that gap pair. You see immediately, let's see where they go. So they send 2 people to the left, but no one really picked up the middle there. And for me, that's the issue. Like right now, if we pause it, I'm not really sure what happened there. If we, again, back away, sorry for keep rewinding here, but I think this is really important to note here. Just off the break here, you can see you have, oh, okay, so there's 3 of you coming through here. So right now, if you're going to send 1 through the left, if you're going to send only 1 through the left, he has to pick up that middle. For me, the most important choke point is just 2 areas. One is this front door. 1 is this front door and 2 is this middle area, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to let them come through middle and kill your setup, right? But you can see what happens. The player actually doesn't go here, he goes far left here, and you can just see straight away the disconnect between the setup that I wanted and the setup that we actually get. And right now, again, if this is the setup you're going to choose to have, you and your teammate need to coordinate. One of you needs to stun the door, one of you needs to stun the left. Look what happens now. Your teammate is nowhere near there, so he's nowhere near there. He's watching the push through like this. And you can see, can you see how the whole middle map is open now? Imagine the red team right now, they're going to send people through here, through there. They have this whole area to kill you from the side, and it could have been avoided just by having a teammate pushed up a little bit. So again, this comes down to communication and having a nicer break there. We go through, you see you're stunned, you're both watching the front, you end up getting traded now. Again, your teammate's nowhere near, he gets traded, there's 1, there's 2, and you guys lose the team fights. Again, we can't rely on that, because now your teammate's by himself on the far left. I'm just not a fan of this break in my opinion. I think Theory has to do a better job of helping you out, okay? It's not his fault, I'm not trying to single him out, but as a team, just kind of discussing and saying, I think we're better off having someone middle. It's probably more impactful. We're going to go through. I don't mind the bait and switch from you guys, kind of going across, being aggressive here. Again, it comes down to a few things here. They can't have a trophy system yet, right? So let's use our equipment. Let's use our grenade. Right now, we know where they're coming from. Let's jump across. Let's be annoying. Let's get some map control. Let's stand on this ledge. Let's kind of break this together and use movement, use different angles. Because you see how you're kind of shouldering, but you're not really helping them. And just like right now, look, we don't want to be sprinting. This is something I always see. I would say under the diamond level is something I come across a lot. Is when you're pushing a choke point, when you're pushing an area where you know people are, you want to avoid the sprint. Because right now, You see you're sliding in, you're technically going into their pre-aim, you're always putting yourself at a disadvantage. We've got to try to avoid that sprint if we can, and kind of just work on being more prepared for the gunfight. And now you're seeing from the first hill, you guys are constantly behind. So one thing here, Bam Bam, is what I don't want to see once again, bro, is I don't know what's going to happen, so I like to pause it and kind of predict, right? But we can see that someone's around there. So if we look at tac maps, what does that really mean? What does this setup really mean right now if we pause it? So the first thing we want to talk about is spawns. We know we're spawning here, so we're going to call this spawn 1. This is our spawn. We'll always refer to our spawn as spawn 1 to make it easier. This is spawn 2, okay? So we know this is spawn 2, this is spawn 1. Nice and simple to start this one off. As we go across here, where are my team? We have someone on the hill. The kill feed shows 1 and 1. That means there's going to be 3 people each from both teams currently. So we have a teammate behind me. We have one on the hill, and we have me over there. And we have another teammate, looks like he's maybe on the right. Something like that. So maybe one just spawned, something like that, okay? Now, we don't know much about them. All we know is they have one person roughly around there. And I would say one just died, so one's going to be there. We were looking for 2. I'm going to assume that one's around middle map. And I'm going to assume the other one, I'm going to just assume he's going around there. I don't know. I'm just going to assume. Let's say he's there. I'm going to assume, okay? In this assumption, what we don't want to do is we do not want to sprint forward and run into this area and just die. We want to shoulder it. We want to use our equipment. Remember, we got our equipment. We want to be annoying here is a key feature. What I would say is we actually want to stretch the map. I want to go left here, stretch the map, and try to just get some map control. I don't want to run in with a submachine gun because this is a very easy cut. If you look at tac maps, if somebody's sitting on this head glitch and you run in through this area, who should win the gunfight? I think it's quite fair to say that they should win it. Let's see what happens. Let's see if you run in. And there you go. Just like I mentioned. But in this scenario, they're not ready for you. And it really comes down to the level of lobby you're playing at, okay? I think in this level, you get away with it. I think you're a better player than them. But again, it really comes down to, imagine if that guy was on the head glitch. What's stopping him from being on the head glitch? Not really anything, to be honest. So it really comes down to being more cautious here and not letting the level dictate your play. Because in my opinion, they could easily, this guy, if he was 2 seconds ahead, could have been right there. So just about being a bit more cautious there. Now, maybe you were ready for that. I just want to kind of raise that point in case you won. I don't know what's going on in your head in these moments. So for me, it's kind of about just painting a picture and for you to plug and play and say, right, no, I did know that. I wanted to shoulder. You see what I'm saying? So I want you guys to just be a bit more aware of the potential dangers. That's what we're going through today. Great play there. Going through. So right now you're going across and you're being a little bit in their face, and I'm okay with this. I see the movement there. I will say maybe it looks like you're trying these new mechanics, which I'm a big fan of. It looks like it could be a little bit smoother. Again, maybe I'm being a bit harsh there, but in terms of like, I think you can go in the private game, just keep working on them. I can see you're definitely working on these mechanics, which is great. 2 people go down. You see one up top there. Again, it just comes down to one of those where you call kind of bad timing, he goes behind you. I think it was one of those where just picking it more, I would say in this scenario, what would I say? I would say it's not a bad play. Like, you get a kill, you push through, your teammates on the right, you're going across. It's definitely not a bad play. It's definitely not a bad play, but it's just being more decisive. Like right now, as soon as you go through now and you see no one there, it's just about being more decisive and saying, right, how can I get that killer kill? How can I get that killer instinct? I'll be like, maybe jump up here, watch that ledge. If no one's there, then you go prone and watch this area. You see what I mean? Like, imagine if you're playing up here on this box and you just prone. You wait for someone to run through. If no one runs through, you watch the ledge. You see what I'm saying? Just having that killer instinct and getting to better positions. Again, small differences I think could have been a bit more helpful there. Instead, you see how you back away and you're kind of just like walking and you're not really sure where they're coming from and you're looking to the right. Like for me, you're kind of in the middle and they could come from different angles. So right now they could come from up there, they could come from your left, they could come behind you. So I think just being on that ledge would have been a little bit more impactful there, and you probably would have got that other kill as well. So small things there. You're gonna spawn at the back. Let's see what happens there. Let's see what happens in this scenario. So great stun, good use of a stun there. Great play. I'm okay with this. I would be a little bit more aggressive just because your teammates, your enemies on the left there. Again, one thing for me personally is like you're playing in this lobby that I think you're just better than. So it's going to be really hard to criticize your gunfights because I think you're going to win most of them. But it's just about your decision making. We're going to try to get through here. So again, just being more cautious here. Like you say you're running with your pistol and your dolphin dive and you're switching. Just be more clinical there. Just keep your weapon out. That's fine. Great kill. Fantastic slide cancel. Now again, this is where I can be more picky, right? Because I see you're a diamond and you're going up against golds. So for me, that's a whole rank difference. So it's hard for me to be critical on your gun skill. But what I can say is scenarios like this, what should we do? Well, first thing we got to look at is we know where the opponent is. He's on the hill. He's going to be pre-aiming this head glitch, okay? But there's an issue. I have about 35 to 30% health. That means I'm probably about 2 shots, maybe even 1, to be honest with you. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to peek this head glitch. We don't want to peek here before my teammates say we want to buy time right now. We got 2 down. We want to buy time right now. So let's see how you play this if you buy enough time. You go through. Great play. Great play. You buy the time. I'm very happy with that. For me, that was exactly what I wanted to see. Really good stuff there. You now know the seconds on the right. We got chuck and nade up here, but really happy with that. I love the way you played that. I want to rewind it and show everyone at home. I think that was a great play mechanically. Again, off the break here, I'm not a fan of this initial dolphin dive, because if I have somebody here against a better player, right? If I'm in this window and I'm pre-aiming you, you're probably dead here. So I'm not a big fan of this initial dolphin dive, but once you get through, I'm a real big fan of the play. Great stun, you get aggressive, you hold the angle, you kill him, fantastic. Your slide cancel, brilliant sentry, you take out the second, you take your time, you buy time for your third, really good play there. Again, being really, really picky now, you know the fourth's up here, you got a grenade, just slam that grenade. Hold a grenade, hold the frag, hold the frag, hold the frag, chuck it through the window, bounce off, easy kill, and then you slide to the left here. So little details like that, but overall, really, really good play there. Very happy with that. Let's play it out. Two go down, you're going to sit on the hill. I'm okay with this again. So one thing I would say right now is you know where they're coming from the left-hand side. Let's see how you play this. Again, that grenade, just being a bit more critical there, like chucking it in the window. You knew they were coming through there. Shoulder right now. I don't mind you shouldering. This is fine. I love the aggression. I love that because your teammates on the left. Really good stuff. Really good stuff there. So you definitely have a good understanding. You definitely have a good understanding. And again, I'm looking at this lobby and it's a little bit difficult to judge because you're playing in a 4-stack against people you're better than. So for me, I'm really trying to be picky. Anytime I see a small mistake, I'm going to really go into it. Not because it's a terrible mistake, but I expect you to be better than these players. So when I look at these lobbies, I'm like, right, how can Bam be perfect? Because you're better than them, right? So you're probably going to win, but how can you be perfect? And that's what I look at. And again, plays like this. So these are good for me because these are mistakes that you're making against golds. And if you're making a mistake against a gold, you're probably going to make the same mistake against a diamond. And that's where it gets even more problematic. So let's go through and look at their possible setup right now. So they have a setup where P2 is just finished. They're going towards P3. I would actually assume before this even happened, 3 spots for someone to watch the pinch. 1 spot is around here. This area, people love to sit here and watch the pinch. The other area is these back steps. The other area is maybe around this head glitch here. Not even a head glitch, just kind of around the area. So when I'm going through this area through P4, I'm trying to be a bit cautious. What I personally am doing is trying to get into this building and trying to shoulder and just trying to find information. I think that's one thing we could definitely work on with your gameplay is the information. I feel like you kind of get aggressive and then ask questions after. And this is a perfect example. Look, you're quite weak here. You're quite weak here. You have no idea if anyone's watching this. If you think about it from the enemy's perspective, they just saw you on the minimap kill their teammate. So they should in theory know that you're coming through here. They should be like, you know what? Bam is coming through somewhere here. They should kind of be ready for this, to be honest with you. So it's down to you to predict. So right now, again, shoulder for information. But you see, instead of the shoulder, you see how you dolphin dive in? This is where it gets really problematic because you're looking around now, but what if the player, instead of being right there, what if he was standing right there? What if he was standing prone there? What if he was in this head glitch? Regardless, right? You see in all these scenarios I've picked up, you're still at a disadvantage. And that's where I think just slight game awareness of saying, you know what? There's somebody that's probably pinching it. And the thing is, you actually held the angle, so you kind of expected it, looks like. So just being a little bit more creative there and saying, right, what can I do? Let me shoulder this. Let me take my time. But look, you go into the open and you're dead here. Regardless of where they are, you're dead here. Those are the little things we need to work on. Because look at this effect this has. You die now. Look how far you spawn. I want to show you something. Look how far you spawn. You spawn other side of the map. Let's have a look at attack maps here and look at the difference. And this is what I mean by every kill has an effect. There are some kills that are wasted, but most of the time, majority of kills, even small ones like that, which only look like 1 death, have a massive effect. Let's move everyone out of the way. You doing that 1 dolphin dive, you went from here. Okay, and this is why I talk to people about being patient, because overall it helps you. You went from being really aggressive. This guy's standing right here, okay? Instead of shouldering it, and let's just say you delayed the gunfight for 5 seconds, right? 5-10 seconds, you shoulder it. Instead of doing that, you dived in and died. Now, I would much rather my teammate be around here, being annoying, distracting number 2, at least distracting him, then dying here and spawning all the way back there. Because if I ask you right now, how many seconds is this distance? I would say about 15. To really get there is a good 15 seconds without anyone stopping you. And you see the issue here is you just gave a free death here. Now imagine against a better team when you're giving a free death. What are they going to really do? They're going to kill you, and then what? They are then going to push up the map. This guy is now going to push up to this area here. And then guess what? When you spawn up, and you go through and you go through and you go through, he's now killing you over there. You see? This guy now kills you, and guess what? You spawn back there. So that one death has delayed you for 20 seconds against a better team. Especially with your team dying, now you're by yourself, now 3 down, 4 down. Now look, now it's a whole domino effect. You guys are now pushed back and there's no map control. So we don't want this to happen, because now look, now they're holding you from middle, they're going through. And again, against a better team, if we look at the red setup, if they have something like this, unfortunately, you're not really able to break it. You're really not. If they have something like this, let's just, you know what, let's just do this. They have someone on the bar, they have someone there, they have someone middle, and they have somebody at the back. Let's just say this is their setup, the red team. As a blue team, it's really difficult to do anything. It's really, really difficult to do anything. Because even if you push up, okay, let's do this actually. Let's just do something like that. This guy's watching over the ledge. As a blue team, like, you're pushing through the right, it's so difficult to break the hill. You're more than likely going to get 1 or 2 devs here, and you're delaying the push. So it really comes down to the team you're playing against. In this scenario, this is the exact situation I pushed. Can you see the blue team here? This is you guys. The only difference is the players you're going up against, because they're gold and like platinum, they're not set up as like a crimson team, right? So they're not having, you know, stair glitches. They're not having people set up in really dangerous areas, so you get away with it. But the problem with getting away with it is when you go against better players, you think it's normal, and then you kind of like play like this. So these are things we've got to avoid, because look, this guy goes through and dies. But what if he kills you? You spawn out again. So you see how you guys broke the play? Good play from breaking the hill. But again, we don't really want to be in scenarios like this, okay? So it all comes down to there's 1 or 2 small kills here. But great break. You go through. There's one, there's a guy on your right. Good break there from a team. You end up pinching them. I think that's a good break overall. I'm quite happy with that break. And you end up spawning on the side here. 20 seconds left. Again, yeah, I don't mind you. I was going to say, I don't mind you pushing ult, to be honest. Right there, like, even just these little flip-flop things, like, bro, just commit, because you're wasting seconds and seconds and seconds. And what you're doing is you're holding the bad spawn. So right there, you see you're committing, and then you go through, and then you back away again. I know it doesn't look like much, but you just spent, let's see how many seconds that was. I actually think that's like 6 seconds there, which is quite a lot. You're here at 22 seconds, right? So let's say right here. At 20 seconds, you're right here. At 20 seconds, you're right here. And look what you do. You go forward, then you back away, then you back away, and right there. So 5 seconds, again, doesn't seem like, oh, not too much. But if you think about 5 seconds from where you were standing right there. Within 5 seconds, you could have been there. You see? So like, you just going up, down, left, like, you're just delaying it, and you're just holding the bad spawns. We want to get out of there as quick as possible, because these are the bad spawns for the new hill. But you going in and out, in and out, in and out. As soon as your teammates die, you're basically just helping them spawn here. So we want to try, like, this spawn's a no-go. So you need to be out of there. You need to be out of it, because now look, now your teammate's going to spawn with you, and it's kind of chalked. You still spawns behind you, right? And now you're kind of delayed. You're going through again. You see the delay here? You're just doubting yourself. You're doubting yourself. Look where you are now. It's taking you 20 seconds. 20 seconds, all right, bam, to go from here. You went there, 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 back there. You see what I'm saying? A lot of indecisiveness. There's no need, bro. Just be confident in your ability, because you've got good gun skill, and push through. Just push through, be confident. Your teammates are fighting. You need to be with them right now. Look, you're backing away, you're backing away. Oh my God, you're 360 in the air. Shit's going down, bam, okay? And now you spawn out. You spawn out, and now it's another hard break, all right, bro? Just small details. Again, your gun skill is clear right now, so we need to be working on that. 4 down, sorry, not 4 down. 4 spawn up, cruise missile goes in. I'm okay with it. I probably prefer it on the next hill, to be honest with you, but I'm okay with it. I think that was a good cruise. I'm kind of not sure how that. Okay, I think that's kind of all over the place. I'm not sure what happened there. This is good. This is interesting for me. I love this play because I can talk about it. I don't think it's a good play, but I love talking about this play because it's something that happens all the time. Right now, 3 people die in your team, okay? So you're in a bit of a panic, okay? 3 people are dead in your team. What does that mean? It means you are the only one up and none of your team got any kills. So we can assume that the enemies have 4 people and we have 1. In this case, bam, okay? You jumping on the hill right now, all you're going to do is you're going to paint a target on the hill. The hill will come up red for them and they know exactly where you are. I would much prefer you taking your time here, staying on this ledge, chucking a stun, chucking a nade, chucking a trophy, watching the stairs, be annoying. Because the problem we have, I always see this when coaching people. I want you guys to pay attention to the score. 56, okay? You're on 56 right now. 57. No, not even 1 second. Not even 1 second. I would rather you play your life and push them off the hill. Instead, you jumped on the hill because you're like, oh, we need to get time, right? But the problem is this, now you end up losing. You didn't get any time there. So I'd rather you play your life and just trust your gun skill because you're a good player. Trust your gun skill, keep them off the hill and buy time for your teammates, okay, bro? Those are the little things we want to work on. If you're by yourself and your whole team's dead, let's not rush it. Let's take our time. Let's buy time for our teammates. We don't need to be overcommitting here. New hard point. They should have someone set up here. Let's go through. Let's be a bit cautious. Let's chuck our stuns through the top window. Let's work together. Let's see what happens there. Let's see how you break this. You're down by 50. I'm not a big fan of this. Again, for me, it comes down to map control. Because you're the only one on the hill, I'm okay with it, but I'd rather you guys gain map control there. And that's the issue I have, okay? It really comes down to map control. You should be looking at this and saying, forget the hill. Forget the hill right now. Before we get on the hill, let me show you what I mean from tac maps, okay? We'll make you these two. This is you right now. Your team is around there, okay? So where do the two teams spawn? So just like we mentioned earlier, we're going to make it very simple for you guys. 1 and 2, nice and simple. Team 1 spawns around there. This is on P4. We're still on P4. Look at the map. We're still on P4, okay? Team 1 spawns around there. Team 2 spawns around there. Around this proximity. As the rotations are proceeding, with 8 seconds left, I think it's safe to say whoever spawns up from Team 2, they're more than likely going to rotate around. They're more than likely going to rotate this way, okay? So we, as Team 1, we as the blue team should be thinking, right, I'm actually worried about these players. What I actually want to do is I actually want to try and get map control because they could be anywhere. They could be here, they could be middle. There's probably one, there's 1 and old, as we can see, there's still 1 and old. So we know at least one's there. They might have maybe something like this. They could have something like this. We have no idea. But right now, you shouldn't be thinking of the hill. You should be thinking of the map control and thinking of the bigger picture, which is the 45 seconds of this hill. Don't worry about the first 10. The first 10 is a settling period, right? You still got plenty of game left. The first 10 seconds should be used to gain this map control, to gain this area and say, right, we need to make sure no one's here. Once you've done that, once you've cleared that map area, then you can commit to a setup. But look what happens. You go through, you're by yourself, you sneak across. If I ask you right now, where are they? You have no idea. You have no idea. You sit in a corner right there. So the problem for me is you're sitting in this corner, tucking away, and you and your teammates are right here. You got another teammate pushing up here. We have absolutely no idea where they are. There could be someone in there. There could be someone just on the ledge, on the bridge. There could be someone on the balcony. We have no idea. And the problem is this. Look what happens. Your teammate goes through the right. Your teammate goes through the right. Your trophy goes down. But there's no one there. So as soon as you go in the hill now, let's go prone. Look, just like I mentioned, there could be someone on the balcony, someone's on top. You have no idea where they are, and you're kind of just sitting like this. You're just a sitting duck right now. Your teammate goes through, and it just really opens up too many opportunities for them. And just like I mentioned, we don't know where that guy was. He might have been anywhere. He could have been in the window. He could have been anywhere. He actually was on the side. He was right there, and he gets a kill. So you see, it comes down to just preparing. Like right now, you go through, you die. Your teammates are now 2v3. They end up going across. One more dies. He gets 1 kill. It just gets way too mixy, which it doesn't need to be. You guys get the kills here, and it works out okay, but it could have been a lot cleaner. You're now saying, right, let me push up, let me be annoying. In this scenario, I want to see you hold the middle map. You have a sub, hold middle map, be annoying, chuck a nade up top there, just really get in their faces. I trust your gun skill a lot here, and I want to see you use it more. I want to see you utilize it more. Right now, hold that middle. Good nade. I'm a big fan of that grenade. I want to see you hold middle here. I want to see you hold middle and get the balcony instead. Don't worry about the hill. I want to see you hold middle map here. For me, you're too worried about the hill. If I asked your team about their setup right now, if you think about it, there are 4 of you around the hill. For me, that's 0 map control, and it really comes down to map control. We want to have someone middle, we want to have someone pushing out a bit, because you're just going to get pinched. You're going to get pinched and collapsed on, and it's really hard to play against. Against a better player, like right there, against a better player, they're going to fry you because they're collapsing on the hill. So I think one thing you guys got away with is you guys were just better than this team, and it kind of just shows because they're not punishing you enough, okay, bro? Hope that makes sense. Hope that's fair as well. So even game here, you go through. Again, I don't mind these plays. I just like my sub being more creddy, man. I like my sub being annoying and just holding different angles and just being really annoying. Like right now, just small detail, but let me show you what I mean on attack maps. You expect them to come through here, right? You expect the red team to come through here, okay? Let's say you're sitting right here. What is your vision? We're going to do 2 things. We're going to make your line of sight, your vision, the orange marker, okay? So this is your current vision. You can see, or is it? We'll make it the orange. So you can see this. This is your current vision. Now the blue marker is what I would have preferred you to do. I would have preferred you sitting on this ledge, just hang glitch in this ledge for a second, just for a second, okay? As you're sitting there, guess what you can see? You can see this whole corridor. You see the difference between the orange and blue marker? Just from you turning your head, you can see this whole area. Now, I don't want you to sit there and get beamed, but shoulder it. Why not shoulder it? See that area. Once you know it's clear, you wait there, you wait there. You get the first kill. Imagine he runs through, you get that kill. Then you back away. This should be your second spot because it's a more of a creddy spot. But first, we need to get map control. We need to see where they're coming from and be annoying. You see right now, like, you're holding it, and look at that. He runs in. But the problem is this. What if his teammate's right there for the trades? You see, go for, yeah. So right there, like, okay, where you're sitting right now, imagine if you were sitting here earlier on this head glitch, you would have killed them before they get here. You see what I'm saying? Because now you're fighting them over there, but we want to fight them before they get here. That's the main point. We want to stop them from getting towards us. Because if you lose one of those gunfights, they're already on your teammates. They're already there. So just really small details like that, bro. Because now you go across, your teammates get two, he spawns out, we got instantly turn around here, we know they're coming through the right. Again, look at the minimap, they come through the right. But because you guys are all trapped in the hill, this is why I think you're struggling with hardpoint. Because when I'm looking at your team now, you're always in the hill. Your whole team, is like all four of you are always around the hill. And I think that's a bit of an issue. I think you guys got to try working on stretching the map a little bit, okay? Don't be afraid, because you look at your gun skill, you're frying. This is your second cruise, bro. You're absolutely frying them. But I just want to see you stretch the map a bit more. I feel like you're constantly playing with the team on the hill, and it's not stretching enough. There you go. He's on your left there. Again, just reading that a little bit before. You should never win that, bro. They're just like, you're just so much more talented than them, unfortunately for them. You're just a lot better than them. You go through. This is annoying for them, and this is what I mean by good play right there. You're being annoying, now you're going through middle, watch your left here. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're just being annoying. Like, for me, this is a great angle. Great angle. Your teammates should be good. I was going to say they could potentially flip here. I still thought it was a good angle, to be honest with you. It's just one of those where they could potentially flip, but with four of you there, it's just about understanding that maybe, okay, have I pushed out too much? Have they flipped? Maybe have somebody back away and kind of check. They could have just pinched through the other side through earlier. It could be multiple things right now. You see how you have your whole team on the right. Maybe one of them backs away and holds middle earlier. Just little things like that. Because now you have someone behind you. It just comes down to a disconnect. Maybe they split spawns. Maybe you left that open for too long before. It could be anything there. Yeah, so it looks like the spawns actually flipped there. So again, maybe when you pushed out, you guys want counting numbers, counting names. Just little variables like that I think could be worked on. Okay, you're by yourself. So the first things first is first guy. And this is what I mean. Just this little discipline there, bro. Your gun skill's great, but then you do things like this. Like, look, how do you know he's not in the window? If I asked you right now, how do you know he's not in this window? How do you know he's not watching over his teammate? Because I don't think you can know that because we don't have the information. We know someone's on the hill, sure. But how do we know they don't have somebody watching the window? I really don't think we can say that for certain that that's the case. So right now, if he's in the window right now, I'm fairly certain he fries you. If he's in the window right now, I'm fairly certain he fries you. And it comes down to that. Just not making plays like this. If you're going to jump to the ledge because you see a player, just be like, okay, let me jump to my left so I'm out of the way. Because what you did is you jumped out into the open. Like, why not jump on this left ledge here? So at least you're not in the way. Like, back away and jump on your side. Because you jump right there. What if he's behind you? You see? What if he's in the window right there? He wasn't in this case. You go through, this guy's looking at you, you end up dying. And again, just giving your opponents a chance to get back in the game, like back in the gunfight, which we don't really want to do, okay? 15 seconds there for start rotating. Again, comes down to angles. I think that was a good play from him. Just stay glitching. Let's see what you do here. You're with your teammate. There's one. Okay, it's a little bit unfortunate, to be fair, because your teammate was there. I don't mind that play. I get it. Good play from him. Again, you spawn out though. So just like we mentioned last time, it's the same thing. So we don't need to spend too long on it because it's a very similar thing here. Okay, Cruz comes in. Interesting. Let's see what happens there. I'm curious to see what happens there. So if we pause it, you can see they're all collapsing on the hill. There's two of them on the hill, one through middle, one through the stairs. Okay, again, just 2 cruises and no kills. Now, sure, you're gaining map control, but it's something we can work on and say, right, maybe we need to be doing our cruises in better positions. Maybe we got to be doing cruises where our teammates are in more, powerful positions. But at the end of the day, your cruises could be really impactful there because it might have brought them towards your enemies. So when you get a cruise, don't think just about the kills. The map control is also a big factor. So not a bad play there. Not a bad play. Your teammates break the hill, so I'm okay with that. Again, stun and nade there. Really small detail. There you go. Good stuff there. And you're by yourself on the hill. So once again, it's just one of those where you're by yourself and you need to think, right, should I play the stairs? Me personally, sometimes I'm actually getting out the hill and playing those stairs and stopping them from breaking the hill. It really depends on your goal here. I'm kind of worried right now, and I'm probably thinking about the bigger picture. So for me, I'm probably trying to get to this back area here, and I'm setting up for the new hill. And that's where I think it really comes down to. And I want to explain this as kind of my final big point, and then we can kind of play out the rest of it, okay? Let's look at this scenario right now. I want you guys to just picture this with me. Let's go through this bit, and then we can kind of just proceed with the rest of it. Again, this applies for Black Ops 6, and this is the whole thing about understanding the bigger picture for me, okay? 20 seconds left right now. We're going to keep you as number 1. You are right over there, okay? Your teammates are dead. So where are your teammates? Your teammates are going to be spawning around the stairs area here. So they are spawning on spawn point 1, and this is spawn point 2. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to also make the spawn point for the next hard point, okay? So I want you guys to bear with me here. We're going to make it, it's a little bit complicated, but as long as we go through so, we'll be fine. The spawn point for the next hard point is 2 and 1. So you can see this spawn is fairly similar. Now it could be a little bit different. Actually, no, that's wrong, that last bit. What am I talking about? The spawn point 2 is actually here. As the hill pops, it goes around there. And 1 is around there. That's kind of the spawns once P4 is popped, okay? And for the P3, this is spawn point 1, spawn point 2, okay? So what we're trying to do now, with 20 seconds left, the current spawn, my current team are spawning here. Remember this. Really, really important right now, okay? So what am I thinking? I'm thinking, right, my current team are spawning there. What are they going to do? They're more than likely when the new hill pops, we are more than likely going to get this spawn, the bad spawn, essentially. If the red team are spawning here, they're going to get this P1. You see where I'm coming from? But these spawns are going to be together. Now, what would I rather? I would rather have spawn 1. I would definitely rather have spawn 1. So right now, you have a role here. Your role is to be impactful and say, what can I do to maximize my chance of capturing spawn 1? And this is where I think it's so important. We look at the map right now, and this is roughly their setup. We don't know exactly, this is roughly their setup, okay? So I would look at this and say, right, yes, there's 20 seconds left of this hill, but if I play my life underground, if I get annoying, if I get back here, what am I doing? I am causing a distraction for these guys. They have to look for me, and as they're looking for me, my teammates can push up. You're buying time so that your team can push up, and hopefully they get the kills here. Hopefully they get 1 or 2 kills, and guess what happens? If they get the kills here, every kill they get, they are spawning the other team to P2. So you're not worried about these 20 now, you're worried about the bigger picture, which is the next 60. So you're actually trying to spawn them out, and then the new hill pops and they spawn here, and you guys have the new hill. So it really comes down to chaining rotations, chaining hills. You're not only worried about this hard point now, you're worried about the new hard point. So you're thinking, what can I do to play my life and be annoying? But let's play out what actually happens. So yes, you get a bit of time here. It's 149, 149.
Rails, 2-on, we rotate.
We're not 149. 17, sorry. So you're on 177. So you're by yourself here, and you're on 177. So you get 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, and you die. So you got 4 seconds, and this is my big point. This is what I want people to understand. I'm not saying get off the hill because it's not worth it. I'm saying you're more than likely going to die because you don't know where they are. They can come from every angle. If I asked you where the red's coming from, you have no idea. They could come from that side, from that side, from that side. So you sat here for 4 seconds when I would say in this scenario, maybe play your life, get to the back, be annoying, try to be annoying, buy as much time as possible. Be annoying, buy as much time, let them get distracted, let them look for you, and then your teammates can push through. And that is a small gap I think is really, really valuable as an SMG player. Because now look, now you're spawning out. Now you're spawning at the spawn 2, remember we spoke about? And your whole team's spawning there. And look, you did buy a bit of time for your team, but imagine if you bought a few more seconds. It comes down to that, okay? And the more advanced the enemy team gets, the more they're going to punish you for these plays. So this team, even though you had the bad spawns, guess what? Not even an issue. You walk right past, not an issue. But as you play a diamond team, as you play a crimson team, as you play an iridescent team, as you play a 4-stack top 250, they're going to be more and more punishing. They're going to be more and more set up, and that's where it gets harder. In this lobby, it's not too difficult. You're going through, you're getting your gunfights, you're breaking hills. It's not too bad. But as you progress as a player, you need to make less mistakes because they're going to be more punishing, and that's what it comes down to, okay? So let's proceed to push out a bit. So once again, you can see you guys had 4 down. You guys had 4 down. Everything was going well. And you guys just lose the setup here. So let's see what happens. Look, 2 go down, 3 go down, and you guys break the setup. Why? Too narrow. Way too narrow. If we pause right now, your whole team is too narrow. You're actually doing a good job of stretching out, to be honest with you. You're doing a great job there. But the rest of your team, very, very narrow. So something we definitely need to work on is not being too narrow, okay, bro? So we go through, we go across. You see they go across, see what happens now? And you can just see, now you guys lose the hills. We want to try avoiding that. We want to try being like, okay, why are we losing the hill here? That's not something we really want to happen there. Going through. 15 seconds left. Again, rotation. Guess how many people are there? 3 people are here. We need to be rotating. We need to be rotating for sure. Same thing as earlier. Map control, map control. You can see they're in the hill. So it really comes down to the same things, okay? Again, in this lobby, you're getting away with it. Not a problem. Against better players, it's going to really, really get to you. So a few bits of advice from me, just from seeing your one gameplay. You have good gun skill. Good gun skill. I think your sensitivity is a little bit too high, in my opinion. I think if you go to like a 6.6 or 7.7, I think it'll be a bit more fine-tuned for you. I feel like it's kind of, I can see a very high sensitivity. If you like it, it's absolutely fine. There's no problem. It is personal preference, but I would always recommend a little bit lower. I personally play a 10.7, but I do always recommend a 6.6. I think it's a lot smoother, and you'll get a lot more consistent results with it, in my opinion. The other thing is just, as a team, I would say your setups, I want to see you pushed out a little bit more. There were certain times where you did a good job stretching the map, especially you specifically. I think you did a good job stretching the map, but as a team, I want to see a bit more pushed out, okay? And that's the main 2 points, I would say. And just certain times, like being a bit more aware, instead of like dolphin diving into the open, which I think I saw about 3 times, just being a little bit more aware. But overall, it really wasn't bad. There isn't too many mistakes because you're better than these players. So next time, I want to see maybe a gameplay where you guys struggled or it's against a better team, because then we can really, really go into your weaknesses. Because if I look at this, to be honest, it's not like unfair, but you guys are a 4-stack, and I think you're just a better player, right? You're a better team. You can see you're in a diamond lobby. It's one of those where if we look at the enemies, can you see what I mean? Like, you're in a diamond, you got a diamond platinum, and they've got platinum golds. It's not too different. It's definitely not too different. Those teams are similar, but I think you're a little bit better. So I want to see you go up against teams that have maybe a little bit of an advantage and see how you really break it while playing at the disadvantage. That's kind of my key thing there. But hey, YouTube, hope you guys enjoyed it. Bam, hope you enjoyed it, bro. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want personalized VODs just like this as we head into Black Ops 6 for now and for Black Ops 6, hit me up on Discord. I'm going to be doing plenty of VOD reviews. My voice is gone. That's my second VOD review today, so we're going to go chill for a bit. You guys enjoy the video. You guys enjoy the stream. Make sure to drop a like, and I'll catch you guys for another one tomorrow. Peace.